You're tuned in to Ask the Master Auto Technician. Car questions? Get answers right now. Call 850-763-0555.
James Auto Center, we fix it right, guaranteed. Beep, 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 yeah!
All right, good morning, everybody. This is our special edition with Rob Lapham, calling all the way from St. Joe. He's running for U.S. Congress, 2nd U.S. Congressional District here in Florida. Rob, tell me what's going on in your campaign. We can talk about the details now that we're not on television, we're just on YouTube. So tell me what's going on.
Well, I put lots of miles on the car. In the last week, I've been to a little town in southeastern part of the district, Williston and Levy County. I've been up to Mariana. Again, they had a candidate event this week. I guess there were maybe as many as 30 candidates, all of the county races and so forth. And as far as Congressional District 2, the 2 Democratic candidates did not even turn up. But the 3 Republican candidates and I, excuse me, each had 3 minutes in front of the audience, which is something.
Yes, that
it's
is.
not as comprehensive as what is coming up on the 9th of August, on Tuesday the 9th, WECP,
right.
Channel 18, is hosting a town hall at the Women's Club of Panama City, and that will run from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time. So there's an hour and a half there for debate among for questions and answers among the 3 Republican, 2 Democrat, and myself candidates for that office. So that'll be a pretty comprehensive opportunity for the public to see and hear what the candidates have to say. And then I have coming up on this coming Tuesday is the monthly meeting of Bay Patriots, and I've been invited to speak there. So that will not be limited by a 2-minute or 3-minute soundbite, things that have to occur when you have lots of candidates. So I'm really looking forward to this coming week with Bay Patriots, which is again I believe it's 6:30. I'll need to recheck that, but
I believe you're correct.
I know where I'm going. I've been there before, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I've been invited as well. I had Bobby Lago give me a call the other day and said he'd like for me to speak as well. So I'll be joining you. I'm running for Bay County Commissioner. I can say that because I'm not on television right now. This is going to go on YouTube. Because I cannot say this and put this on television because they just don't. They kind of frown on that. They say it's an unequal playing field for my candidate, for my opposition. They'd have to offer them the same amount of time. And I go, okay, fine. If that makes y'all happy, I understand. We'll play by the rules. And that's what we're doing. But last night we were at the League of Women Voters, and they were doing a candidate forum for a commissioner, a property appraiser, school board. And there were questions from what are you going to do with the money from the Restore Act to the county commissioners, to what are the top 2 items that you think are important, and what you would do if we about putting a visitation center in, or an exhibit center, or an event center, I think that's what they call it, where it should go, how we're going to pay for it. And the funny thing, everybody loves Santa Claus, Rob. Everybody wants something. I am just amazed, and I did not realize that was a part of government, is to give things to people to purchase their votes. But apparently that's what everybody expects. If we're going to vote for you, how are you going to make enrich our lives? And I didn't think that was the purpose of government, to enrich people's lives by giving them things. I thought it was to make a level playing field.
James, that just parallels what I heard last night on television when Hillary said she's really going to push for, and kids are going to get free college tuition now. So, and obviously the money grows on trees. She didn't mention the taxation increases that would be necessary. But maybe she plans to just order the Fed to print more money and to value our currency more. So I guess what's going on in Bay County is a small version of that as far as the folks.
I am amazed that we're getting, how many millions of dollars, Anna Marie, are we getting from the Restore money? Does anyone have any idea?
You've got the paperwork right there.
Oh yeah, I apologize. It's the Bay County Restore Act Direct Component Plan draft includes 15 projects estimated to cost $9.5 million. The county is expecting to receive $7 million in the first year, and decision what projects to cut won't occur until after the 45-day public comment. And it's everything from opening the pass to artificial reefs to boat ramp repairs and upgrades. And I mean, it's just, and that money is coming in. To me, it's money that's coming to Bay County, and we weren't even affected by pollution from the BP oil spill that I'm aware of, but Northwest Florida is getting a lot of money. And Bay County is one of them. I'm not supposed to say it's a shakedown, but that's what it came out. That's what it looked like to me years ago. I don't know if you know much about what happened during the BP oil spill, but in order to appease the powers that be, they said, okay, we're going to fine you, and you're going to make sure that this Restore Act, where this money goes to communities that were affected by the pollution. But I'll be honest with you, Bill, Rob, I don't see where we were polluted by the oil spill, but the money's coming. And everybody expects it. In your opinion, do you think this is a good thing to shake down big business, or just to shake down business to get money out of, to promote a false economy? That's what it comes over to me, is you're stealing from somebody.
No, I mean, it's very unfortunate that the folks that were not directly negatively impacted by the oil spill, it's like pigs feeding at the trough.
It is.
It's really disappointing to see that. And sure, there's no question that some of the, I'm going to call it illicitly awarded money, is going to be put to some good use.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just government that we're shaking down BP. I like your use of the term shakedown. There was a car dealership, I forget whether it's Pensacola, Mobile, somewhere west of here, that submitted a claim and got it paid that their car sales had dropped off after the BP oil spill. And one of the investigations showed their car sales had been dropping off for 2 years before the oil spill. In other words, they were going out of business anyway.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I mean, there are dozens, if not hundreds, of cases of claims being filed that had very little justification for them. And BP initially, after President Obama summoned the then president of BP and the chairman of the board to the White House, they agreed and put $20 billion into a trust fund so that these claims could be managed. They ended up paying a lot more than that. I've forgotten the numbers. But and basically that company is much smaller today than it was before. They sold off their North American gas division. I'm aware of a number of cost-cutting measures. And it really is unfortunate. I'm kind of surprised because it was a totally different result than had occurred some 20 years earlier when the Exxon Valdez broke apart, hitting a shoal in Prince William Sound in Alaska,
right,
and spilled millions of gallons of crude across the Alaska coast. And they managed to delay lawsuits and so forth, and even when judgments were made, delay execution of them. Exxon apparently did a pretty good job of, and I think they overstepped their bounds, and I don't think we received a fair result in that oil spill, and I don't think BP received a fair result in all of these claims, particularly from North Florida. That's not the way the currents were flowing. The damage to wildlife and so forth, certainly along the Louisiana coast, is not arguable, but it's hard to see what the hard losses are for the most part in North Florida.
Well, anyway, the point is the money's coming our way. It's a done deal, so to speak. But everybody said, what are we going to do? And they were asking the candidates what are the top two things that they would do. And everyone agreed opening up the East Pass. I don't know if you know about that, but that used to be the old pass in Bay County before they cut the pass through Shell Island, make it a straight shot. But it helps flush out the bay of impurities and things from Military Point. And I agree. In my opinion, if we're going to take money, that's something that's very, very important. But the other thing is infrastructure. I mean, we've got a county here that's, if I want to get on the county commission, the biggest problem it seems to be is we have people out there that are having to purchase a lot higher price water and sewer because the way the system's set up, they're having to pay twice what a lot of people are having to pay, and it needs to be equally, the burden needs to be equally shared among all the people, unfortunately, because this facility was purchased for $29 million, and 5,200 families are having to pay back this $29 million that was bought as part of the infrastructure for Bay County. So I don't think that's fair for the those citizens. So if they bought it for Bay County, it was a bad mistake to probably to buy it at that time. We were being proactive, thinking ahead. The bottom fell out, and now we're stuck paying this bill. So the best thing we can do is learn how to make the best of it, and let's learn how to finance it, get it paid off, get it where it's not so outrageously high for 5,200 families. And get our infrastructure put in place. Get in sewer lines. Get people off the septic tank. If they're worried about polluting our water, get the infrastructure. That's the purpose of government, if I'm not mistaken, is make sure infrastructure is set up like it's supposed to. Make sure water, electricity, sewer, those things I think are important. But making event centers, purchasing event centers and picking the winners and losers, which businesses are going to do it, like the Superdome in Louisiana and New Orleans. They got a sponsor to make the Superdome. I think Mercedes, it's called the Mercedes Dome right now. That's, if we're going to do anything, have a sponsor put down a convention center that the citizens aren't on the hook for, because it seems like, Rob, we build things with government money only to increase the size of government, go more in debt, and we really don't have the demand for it. At the time, they're thinking ahead, I understand, but the free market doesn't kind of work like that. There's got to be a reason for it. You've got to have a need, a demand. And yes, it'd be great if we had convention centers, but right now we don't have a demand for it. We don't have the convention center either. What is your viewpoint on that?
I agree completely, and there's no question. Our government is too big, it spends too much, it runs too inefficiently. And if I could move my house a few hundred miles northwest across the Bay County line, I would vote for you for county commissioner, because you understand what needs to happen. And I certainly wish Morris for Bay County commissioner.
Well,
campaign all the success.
And this is the first time I've been able to talk about it, because we're on YouTube. I can't talk about this on television. They get upset with me if I do. And I appreciate you here as a sounding board. But I was just amazed last night how everybody has their hand out wanting something from the government. And I've always been taught if a government's big enough to give you something, they're big enough to take it away from you. And I think you feel the same way about our government and in the federal part. If they're big enough to give you these rights, they'll take them right away from you. And really, the government doesn't give you rights. Those are given by God. But a lot of people think the government, that's another course altogether. I know. I shouldn't even be going there. But I'll see you Tuesday afternoon, about 6:30. We'll be at Bay Patriots. And I hope to have a lot of people show up for that. And I'll be putting this on YouTube. So let's get this out and get people to show up for YouTube. For the Bay Patriots. And we're going to be having a forum, you said, on the 13th of August, or when was it again?
It's the 9th of August, and it's a town hall, and that's something that's at the Panama Women's Club.
Right.
And however, there's limited seating. I understand they can only hold about 100 people.
Right.
And the organizers are giving each candidate 15 tickets for 15 seats. So basically, it's going to fill up. However, everybody in Panama City and area can see it on Channel 18, WECP. It'll be broadcast 6:30 Central Time, goes on for an hour and a half. And their sister affiliate, the NBC station, 7 in Panama City, is going to live stream it.
Right.
So it'll be on the Internet across the state.
Sounds great. It sounds like a lot of fun. We're against the clock right now. We've been on long enough that you don't want to get bend the ears too long out there. Anyway, thank you so much for being on, Rob. We'll look forward to talking to you more next week. I'll see you Tuesday. Everybody, y'all be good. I'll talk to you later now. Bye-bye.
James Auto Center, we fix it right.